I got you, Lazy Dragon. Where? Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Two Nerds, One Quest. That tendency to say Talking 1265 is still here. Holy crap.
It's only been 4 years.
It's only been 4
and it's
years.
game day.
It's game day and we're all in Packer gear. And it's just, wow, just that intro. That's how I intro stuff, and that just, I got a feeling to say that. Anyways, this is Two Nerds, One Quest. A D&D adventure with these two nerds, Ryan Krixis Leave and Tom Aronan Norman.
Yo, what is the word?
The bird, apparently. The bird is the word. Mow. I think that's about as much as I can do.
That's about as much
before
as I
we
want
get
to hear
copyright
from that
claims.
song. Yeah.
That's as much as I can do before Tom turns me off. Mute.
Thanks, guys. Great show. See you later.
Good night. Now we're here to wrap up the Dragon of Icespire Peak, and it might be this session, it might be the next one. We got a vote of confidence from Lazy Dragon. Yay, D&D time. Hell yes, it's D&D time. Sunday mornings are for D&D, despite 80s churchgoers' opinions.
The devil.
We are going to hell anyways, so we might as well have fun doing it.
You're not wrong.
Norm, would you like to give us a recap of last week?
Yes. So, last week, we started the session in the room above where we met.
Where it happens?
Nope.
Sorry, Hamilton reference. I watched Hamilton yesterday.
Oh.
Continue.
Distraction. You killed my train of thought. Oh, we started.
You started in the room where you
actually,
animated Krixis animated.
Yes, where we animated Krixis' character. She came to life, didn't have a weapon, kind of found her a rusty sword. Aronan went up. I don't have the map in front of me, so I have to remember it. So we left the room, kind of looked around the hallways overlooking the area. Then we went up the spiral staircase. Well, Aronan had everybody stay at the bottom. Aronan went up the spiral staircase and took a peek, saw the dragon sleeping, and I got some... Oh, I got those things. I think I added them to my inventory. Found an axe for the undead skeleton. Went downstairs, told everybody. Went back upstairs, grabbed the axe. We had a really great plan. It was just really good, and it was really going to work until Ellie wiped out on her way. The whole thing went to shit. Skeleton didn't even get a swing in. Died pretty much immediately.
Died to the fireball.
I died to the fireball. Yeah, Ellie.
That Ellie panic threw when she fell.
She smoked
because it was icy.
She smoked the skeleton. And I mean, we beat the dragon, and that's it.
Yay!
And we'll do this.
So, you are standing on the platform. The wind is whipping past you. You're breathing heavily after a combat encounter with a dragon, which went well enough You're all still standing, minus the skeleton. The wind kind of whips past, and you see this dragon in front of you. What would you like to do?
I'm going to go and check on Krixis and Ellie to be sure they're fine.
Do you go walk over to Krixis? Krixis, how you feel?
Boy. Scary for a second there, but we made it through. Hey, good thing I had the skeleton, huh?
Yeah, that thing was a great distraction. It's a good thing Ellie didn't slip on the ice and jack the whole thing up. We would have died if that wouldn't have happened.
We
As I
didn't
look-
die. As she approaches, kind of holding her arm, and she said, "We didn't die. We are still alive."
Yes.
As I look to the side, I see the remnants of the skeleton and good-looking, great axe, and I'm gonna grab that.
The axe, when you go to grab it, the handle kind of chunks off. It was wood. It just kind of breaks away. The head of the axe is still viable and has that embossing of the tower with the lightning bolt on it, but the handle is gone. Fireball just incinerated the wooden handle. So if you want the axe head, you can take it still. Go try and find a handle to attach to it.
That might be worth it.
The axe head, kind of remarkably, is still incredibly sharp. And you think the only real damage to it was the fact that the handle burnt away. It's a charcoal still kind of stuck in the axe head that you can pull away from it. Get out of
All right,
it.
I'll
So
do so very carefully.
yeah, you knock it out. You realize very quickly that the axe head is solid and in good shape. And you just kind of poke the wooden remains out of it.
All right. We should probably see what we can salvage from this dragon, huh? We could probably make some
before the other guests arrive.
Yeah, right. We could probably use. So here's a side note: is dragon scales in Dungeons and Dragons like dragon scales and everything else, where it kind of like makes everything tougher? Like you can make shit out of it, or do you not craft?
Oh yeah, you can craft. That's why there are charts like the one I'm looking at right now that tells me what you can pull down from. Granted, this isn't in the D&D book. Someone made this chart, but it's incredibly helpful. And I found it on at arcanatimes.com. There's a Monster Harvester's Handbook PDF that is fantastic for DM resources.
Okay, cool. That was my question. So yes,
Yep.
Let us rip this thing apart.
So you want to harvest now. There are several pieces that you can try and harvest from a young white dragon.
I want it all. I want it all.
Where's the DC? Okay, yeah, that's the DC. Okay, you can harvest scales, skull, teeth, claws, tongue, horn, eyes, liver, heart, gizzard. For the fundamentum, which is probably the most difficult thing to get, it is what allows them to breathe magical weapons. It's also the most dangerous thing to try and extract from a dragon.
So do I actually have to say what I'm going after, or can I just?
Yeah, you have to choose what you want to take. They all have different DCs. This chart's amazing. I'm not kidding you.
So I'm going to start with.
Keep in mind, whatever you take, you need to try and carry, and you need to be able to justify carrying it out of here. So the skull might be something you want to leave behind.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Dragon
Carrying
scales
something
seems
around
like
like this.
something that'll be useful.
Scales would be a very good thing if you want to go after some scales. Go ahead and make a survival check to try and cut away dragon scales.
Are you proficient in survival?
+5?
Are you
I have
proficient?
plus-
It sounds like you are.
I have +6. If you want to assist me, I can.
Oh, yeah.
Go that way.
That seems like a better route. $16.
16?
What did you get, Cooch?
Well, Cooch can roll twice, or you can both roll. With his +6, you probably want him to roll twice.
Oh, I gotcha. I thought
Yeah, I
okay.
mean, I was
That's- you-
expecting to roll at advantage.
Yes.
Yep.
That's assisting is usually when you start discussing who's got the higher score, you're usually discussing who gets the advantage roll.
I gotcha.
So,
So
I
I rolled 16, which means 22.
22. Fantastic. Roll a roll
Roll a death save.
What do I want you to roll? I want you to roll a 4-sided die, a d4, and a d10.
A 10 and a 1 for 11.
A 10 and a 1. So 1 for the... So then you manage to pull down 11 sizable white dragon scales off of them. You have a little
Aronan, you
trouble
want to
cutting
put
them up.
that in your inventory?
Sure.
Those are like usable ones. There are ones that are like have been damaged from being like cut into and stuff. These are actually like really pristine. You got good dragon scales, ones that feel like they're usable. And with 11 of them, you could make probably a helm or some bracers or something. You get something cool made out of that. You got 2 more items you can try and harvest from the dragon.
So
Again,
it's-
claws, teeth, his innards stuff, like his liver, his eyes, his heart, his gizzard, or the fundamentum. That's all stuff that would be used in alchemy. Wood needs some sort of preservation. It's not going to last. It only lasts a couple of days. You would be able to get back to Phandalin with that stuff in time before it spoils. But you'd have to preserve it there if you're going to take it to Neverwinter or anything like that.
So probably stick to teeth and claws, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So which one do you want to do? Teeth or claws? Thanks.
Which one do you think would have the better
I'll
benefit?
do
Well, we can do two more things, right?
You can do
Teeth,
both
maybe.
teeth and claws. Which one do you want to do first?
teeth.
Teeth? Okay.
Sure.
Survival check at advantage. Krixis.
16.
16? Yes, you are able to pull. Roll me a d20. That's how many teeth you'll get.
$11.
You're able to pull 11 of his teeth out, including some of the larger ones from in front. You got some really freaking 11 again.
Yeah.
Okay, 11 scales, 11 teeth. Then his claws.
All right. I'll do the same thing.
Mhm.
20.
20. Perfect. You don't have to roll. You're able to actually extract 19 claws. He was missing one. But you have 19 dragon claws.
Nice.
Smaller ones from
All
little
right.
hands and then some of the larger ones from his feet.
Aronan, you want to add 11 scales, 11 teeth, and 19 dragon claws.
On it.
Let's see. I'm actually going to take some notes there. 11 scales. 19 claws. And teeth. I want to write down how much this is worth so when you guys go to the store and ask, I don't have to look it up again.
Probably
Smart.
a good idea.
So
Yeah. 19
while
white,
we're doing that,
19 Whiteclaws sounds like
I
a
have-
college mixer.
There's our show title, 19 Whiteclaws. That's amazing. Yes, 19 Whiteclaws. That's too damn perfect. Oh my god. Oh, you're right. So you finish harvesting these pieces from the dragon. About the time you're packing all this stuff up, your friends from downstairs show up, and it's actually this red-haired woman, followed closely behind by two men who you did not see, and the raven-haired woman that came down shortly after. That was the lookout that did not see you guys.
I assumed it was a grill party.
I'm gonna when I see them, I'm gonna flex. I'm gonna do the Hulk Hogan, All-American arm pose.
Hang on 1 second. Sorry. Oh, there we go. I almost wrote down the wrong price for the scales. That would have been devastating. All right. Not devastating, just would have meant a lot less money for you guys if you're selling them. Anyways.
Devastating. So
You strike your pose, and the woman kind of looks at you with a wry grin, and so you've defeated him, huh?
It looks like it. I'm gonna
I
kick
should
him with
say
my
so.
kick him with my boot a couple times to nudge him.
Roll a d4.
Oh Jesus!
Krixis says, it was actually no problem for powerful adventurers as us.
2.
You kind of kick him, and there's as you're kind of kicking him, you look at her and you kick it right in the eye, and there's like a sound, and your boot's like all covered with like a slimy guck.
I'm gonna just kind of stop and pretend that it didn't happen.
Yeah. She looks at Krixis and says, "Oh, I guess I underestimated you guys after all. Is there any treasure that you found?"
We were too busy defeating the dragon to look for trinkets, he says with disdain.
She narrows her eyes at you. Good. And she draws her swords combatively. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I think I'll say we could lose lives here up on this keep, or we could deal for any treasure found.
Sorry, what was the question?
Make a persuasion check.
So she, the female, is the redhead? Is that who it was?
Yep, the redhead. Yep, she took
So
a threatening posture.
She unsheathed her swords and referenced the loot as though this is our territory now.
Gotcha.
So I can't. Wow.
Trying to
Roll
persuade her.
crit on my persuasion. So 26.
Okay.
Nice.
She takes her blades and where she's got them kind of out and they're four-handed, she kind of takes them and flips them backhand and kind of sets them down at the side. And so they're kind of resting against her forearm like that, and she's holding them that way. Instead of being real aggressive with them, she's kind of taking a more relaxed stance. She has not sheathed them, though. So she says, "You have my attention."
Do you
All right,
actually know where this loot is? Like, why the hostility? We just helped you.
You took care of a minor problem. The dragon was going to leave eventually.
You chicken shit. This was not a minor problem. You were hiding in those rooms down there, waiting for the dragon to run.
I'm gonna put my hand on Aronon's shoulder.
She looks at Krixis, and then she looks at Aronan. And then she looks at Ellie and actually says, "Are they always like this?" She kind of puts her head to the side and shrugs. And then nods a little bit. We have no interest in a treasure, she says. And she's walking forward. She stepped forward beyond Aronan and Krixis. She says, "We have no interest in treasure. You can have whatever treasure you find. We just want to go peacefully." And she turns around and she glares at Aronan in this moment. Like, make an insight check, Aronan. Like, she's trying to tell you something.
20.
20. You get the idea from the look at it. She looks at the dragon, and she looks at you and glares. And you get the idea that, hey, anything worth anything up here, we've already taken off this damn dragon. Let's get out of here. You get the idea. She's like, we haven't seen anything. We've taken what's valuable. Let's go peacefully. So she gives you that glare, and then it's kind of like, oh. And kind of walks and stands next to Krixis on the other side of Krixis.
I'm gonna throw my hands up in the air and fine, just exaggerated. Let's go.
She turns back and looks at them and says, "Feel free to explore. Take anything you find. The rest of this keep is yours, as far as we're concerned." Right, guys?
Yep.
Yes.
And she starts walking towards the door. And the red-haired woman looks, then puts her swords away and starts going around and prying at like corners and stuff, and starts looking around this upper platform looking for anything that would have loot or anything around it.
All right. I'm just gonna walk out. I'm just gonna head towards the door.
The one guy, as you guys go, the one guy says, "Oh, fools only took the odor stuff." And he starts actually going in to try and harvest the fundamentum out of the dragon. Which, let's see how this goes. I gotta make a roll for him.
I want to make sure we're out of the blast radius first.
You understand, you overheard him and you understand what he's doing, and you guys have a chance to move away as he starts digging in here. So you guys get to the door stuff. What was the DC on that?
Oh, I hope it blows up in his stupid face.
You actually see him, he cutting along the jawline and back into the neck. And he's cutting away gently. He's moving very slowly and very carefully this entire time, and it's going to take longer than you guys are going to be around for him to actually pull this off. So you guys head out the door then? I assume
Yeah.
Ellie does.
Yeah, I'm gonna start going down the stairs.
You guys get into that second room, and the dark-haired, the raven-haired woman comes running up behind you. You hear her running up behind you. Ellie actually grabs her mace quickly and takes a defensive stance, thinking that she may be coming to bean you guys in the back of the head and attack you.
As do I.
She stops. She's hands in the air. She says, no, I'm not here to attack you. You guys seriously killed that dragon. The three of you.
Oh, yeah.
We have been preparing for it for weeks.
Are you good with the cold? Like, are you good in this type of environment?
I mean,
My
my balls stick to my leg every once in a while, but I haven't died yet.
She kind of looks down at the ground and she looks up and... Would you be willing to help me?
Give her the rock eyebrow and say, what do you need help with?
My homeland. My homeland has been cursed by an eternal winter.
How? Well,
Right.
like, what happened?
Arl, the call her the Frost Maiden. She's cursed my homeland with an eternal night and an eternal winter. They haven't seen the light of day in years. The most they get for light is an shimmering light in the sky occasionally. My father sends me messages.
How long
I'm
has it
just
been like this?
concerned. Years at this point.
And nobody knows why?
They assume it's the Frost Maiden has cursed the land.
Like, I mean, like, why?
Why has it been cursed? I don't know. Why do the gods do what they do? We don't know. If we knew, we'd try and take care of it, but we don't know. We need help. People of 10 towns they're fishermen. They live in the harsh environment. That alone is the living day to day in that environment is enough to wear on anyone. I'm trying to go out and find a reason that the sun isn't shining. Depression sets in. You don't ever see the light of day. You don't know why things are the way they are. You don't know where to begin to look. They aren't adventurers. They aren't people that go and fight dragons. Fishermen. The best they have are like town guards.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me... Is this something that needs to be done, like, this exact second?
This exact second? Well, no, I'm not asking you to teleport to
Well,
10 towns and take care of it.
if I could teleport, I mean, that would be kind of cool. And I probably
We
would.
need a wizard for that.
But we need to
And
kind
I
of
don't know
prepare a bit.
wizards. Sure. They've been dealing with it for 2 years.
I suppose, what's another 3 or 4 days, right? Let me talk to
I'm
Ellie and
trying to.
Krixis here, and we need to have a consensus. I can't speak for everybody.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
gonna
She kind of walks back to the stairs and sits on the stairs,
huddle up with
leaving the three of you
Ellie
alone.
and Krixis
Yep.
and put my arms over their shoulders, kind of like a little spy huddle.
Ellie looks right at Aronan and says, "We're going, right?
Well,
It's a community that they're gonna reward us for this.
I
They
was
would." She's appealing to your
Yeah.
sense of greed.
I was going to say what's in it for us, but
You don't need to say what's in it for us in a situation like this. This is a whole community that's suffering. If we can bring an end to this, get a reward damn well more than you could imagine.
can I at least ask what's in it for us? I need to know there's something of value.
Aronan, don't ask that. She doesn't know. You will get something out of it. I promise you. You will get something of value out of this. And she looks
I
at
feel
Crixus
there-
and kind of winks at Crixus.
I feel there's no harm in the ask. However, between us, I think this is a task best suited for us.
Fine. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Do you want me to talk?
Yeah, otherwise I'm probably
Krixis.
going to ask.
Crixus, why don't you do the talking?
Sure. So
Very
Crixus will turn back to the raven-haired mercenary and ask, "What is your name, miss?"
My name is Runa Voxdaughter.
Runa Voxdaughter.
Yeah.
Are you from the north?
I'm from Icewind Dale, yes.
What brings you down to this area?
Looking for money, not wanting to be a fisherman. I still send messages to my father regularly. I care about him. But I can't live that life up there.
We could be convinced to assist you. However, I have two questions for you. Where would we start? And where are we headed after that?
Well, start, I would imagine you'd want to go to Neverwinter and catch a ship. To at least Luskin, maybe even Fireshare if you can get there. I would not take a ship into the Sea of Moving Ice. I mean, that would be the quickest way, but that is the most dangerous. Ships are lost to that sea frequently. From Fireshare, you could take Northern Road to Iron Master, and then from Iron Master head east into 10 Towns. You're looking for Vox. That's my father. He shouldn't be hard to find. He's one of the most well-known fishermen in the town.
What was his name? Vox?
Vox, V-O-K-S.
And what was the last name on this one?
Her last name is Voxdaughter.
Oh,
Basically, she's Vox's daughter. He's known as Vox.
so noted.
That's what people know him as.
Sure.
Very original.
It's a Norse naming convention. Like Safi Eric's daughter.
People north of the wall are pretty odd.
There is no wall in Faerun. It's just open. The nasties just coming. It's more the cold that keeps them up there because they don't like the warm.
Then Krixis will turn back to the group and say, "When do you want to leave?" and smile.
Well, I think we need to head to town first and kind of make sure we're prepped and ready. We probably have a couple things we can get rid of, or see if we can buy to kind of get us a little better prepared. Maybe a day or two of rest, because I have a feeling this is going to be a shitty trek.
I think if we stop in Phandalin and talk to the mayor, there's probably a reward, and we have proof that we have killed the dragon.
Oh,
There's
that's right.
probably some form
Forgot
of
about
reward for him. He was scared out of his mind. And then maybe head to Neverwinter and try and get a ship in Neverwinter.
Sounds like a plan.
Runa actually looks at you guys and says, "Thank you. I greatly appreciate it." And she grabs a bag of coin and just kind of shoves it into Krixis's hand. So this is for your travels, just to help get you there. Thank you.
Krixis is a little caught off guard, and he's going to say, "Runa, you are not going to be traveling with us?"
No, I can't. I'm actually beholden to Saline for reasons.
I do not understand the relationship there, but I'm starting to.
I owe her. So,
Care for yourself. We will meet again.
I'm sure of it. Again, thank you very much. And she turns and she nods and turns and heads back up the stairs. There's 50 gold in the pouch she gave you.
I'll add it to my inventory so we don't lose that.
Sounds good.
All right. You work your way back down through the Ice Spire hold. Out the gate along the narrow path.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to be searching any of these other rooms. They've already pretty much scoured everything, right?
At this point, yeah. Maybe one or two you missed, but
I mean, anything that's of value, they would have taken already.
yeah, you kind of noticed that as you were going through there. You didn't find a ton that was, like, the valuable stuff seemed to be picked over pretty well. Go ahead and for the descent down the mountain, I will ask each of you for 2 dexterity checks.
So here's a side question: can we use the shields as a sled? Just get down the hill.
Actually, make an investigation check as you guys are leaving. Make an investigation check as you're leaving.
18.
15.
You guys remember that as you were exploring, there was actually a stairwell down that you didn't go down. And you head down there into, it turns out it's like crypts. And they've been picked over. There's caskets and alcoves that are like open, and there's rusty weapons and armor in there. And just various soldiers that were buried with their stuff that is no longer, looks like someone came along at one point and like cracked every casket open and was looting through it to try and find stuff. As you're exploring down there, though, you do find that there is a door on the far wall. And you actually pull and open it. And there is a small room with several toboggans. And you kind of walk out to the edge where the wind is whipping by. And there is a icy chute, basically. and you get the idea that this was probably an escape route from the castle. And I'm not making this shit up. It's in the adventure. I wanted you guys to know that. You started asking about riding the shield down. I'm like, oh, right, that's right. There's that escape room. So that's why you rolled the investigation.
That is
so, yes.
fantastic.
So you guys are basically going to bobsled down to the base of the mountain.
I'm going to look at Ellie and Krixis and say, let's go sledding, bitches.
Ellie looks at you and grins and grabs one of the toboggans and jumps down the chute right away.
I'm going
She's
to...
gone.
Krixis will go last.
There's a Yahoo as she's rolling.
I'm going to chuckle, grab one, and then say, meet you at the bottom.
Yep.
And
So you
jump
roll down the chute. Krixis, go. Actually, all of you, make a dexterity saving throw. See how your ride down goes.
It's going to be like going to Noah's Ark or something where you're going in there and you're sliding back and forth and you...
Yeah, and you flip your ass over.
Yep.
Oh, it's a dexterity saving throw. Oh, Ellie. Oh, Ellie, you have a -1. Oh, Ellie. You hear her laughing and screaming, and then all of a sudden you hear her go, ah, shit!
11.
11, yeah, you're fine, Krixis. 3. So, Krixis, you're going down. You hear Ellie yell, oh, shit. And about the time you hear her yell that, you are going up around the corner, and you literally come up, and the thing ends up on top of you. You're able to actually get your shield down, and you're kind of, the toboggan's on your back, and you got your elbows on your shield, and you're kind of sliding down the thing on your shield like that as you go down. You come out at a chute, Aronan. As you're coming out, it kind of levels out and comes out into an area, and you see Ellie. She's like looking up at you, trying to scramble to get the hell out of the way as you go barreling into this huge poof of snow, and it kind of goes up in the air. She gets out of your way. Shortly after that, you guys see Krixis come rolling out on a shield and kind of hits the snow and tumbles open, and kind of like a there's those little transformer dudes that you could roll, and they'd roll over and then they'd pop up on all their stuff. Krixis kind of blows open into this guy laying there, and you guys all kind of look at each other. No one's hurt, but you're all laughing at the adventure you just had. And as you're kind of sitting here laughing at it, you suddenly hear from above, and there's like this explosion of ice and water, and from above, after about a minute or two, this water, rain, snow, sleet comes dripping down on you, and you have a feeling that mercenary didn't do so hot in taking his dragon hearts. In fact, I actually need to make a die roll.
I'm going to run over to Krixis and take his shield and put it up over my head so I don't get smacked with any.
You do that. You're standing over Krixis, kind of holding it up, and standing over him, holding it up, and Ellie kind of comes by with her shield and is standing up, and she goes, I think he failed.
Serves the bastard right.
Let's roll this out. That's a lot of dice. Oh my god, that's a lot of high rolls too.
I don't know what you're doing, but I'm kind of scared.
Up there. Yeah. So you actually fear a little bit for Runa in your head.
Krixis is gonna give Aronan a sideways glance and say, such is the price of greed.
Ooh. Shit. Aronan shrugs. Hands you your shield back.
Yeah. I'm just gonna shrug and say, well, you should have been more careful.
I'm gonna take my extra shield off my pack and give it to Aronan just so that he has a shield in case it comes up.
Add a shield to your inventory, Aronan.
What?
Not that you're proficient with it, but I mean, you would be like frickin' Tyrion in that battle against the mountain man, taking the shield and just beating people with it, and you could probably do something with it.
What
But
kind of
you'd use
shield?
it
Just
too.
a just a
Just
shield.
Just a
shield.
basic shield.
Okay.
Just yeah, if you type shield, it'll come up just basic.
Yeah, okay.
So you're down there, you're kind of gathering everything up. Ellie takes the toboggans and kind of stacks them up at the base. Well, where are we? Make a survival check, somebody. You can have it at advantage because Ellie's looking around and asking.
My survival's +5.
I think Krixis
I
is
have +6.
that's same thing for the hardest
So
thing
does
to
he get
drag.
advantage since we're surviving together?
Yes, yeah, that's I said
Still
whoever-
only 18.
18. You're actually able to find your way back to the trail. As you start walking away, make a perception check. Anybody.
Aronan?
18.
18. As you start walking away, you realize some of the things that fell on you were frozen, like fingertips.
Yeah, cool.
And small pieces of metal, leather, little blood. So you
Threw up in
proceed.
my mouth.
You proceed away from the Ice Spire Mountains, heading north towards Phandalin. 2 days or so travel, day and a half travel. You have a night that goes by uneventful. You're actually kind of relieved that you don't have this looming threat of a dragon overhead for the first time since you've arrived in Phandalin. And after fighting a dragon, anything that might appear in the night seems trivial. Boars, orcs. You're feeling pretty confident about things. The next day, towards the end of the day, you arrive in Phandalin.
Okay, so did we take a long rest anywhere in there?
Yeah, that would have been you would have had a long rest in there.
Alright.
So you can go ahead and take that. Give Ellie hers. Yay, full hit points. So the next day at sundown, you arrive in Phandalin. You know the shops will probably be open for another hour at best. Where would you like to go this evening, if anywhere? Or do you want to rest for the evening again and then pick up in the morning?
I'm going to get a beer.
Go to the inn?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll do the same.
I think a celebratory, we can take care of business in the morning. Ellie agrees.
Yes.
Krixis says, let's head to the bar and spread our legend.
Ooh,
Ooh.
yes. So you guys head to, oh, criminy. I had all the shit memorized too. I memorized every building last night, and then I forgot it all now. You go to the Stonehill Inn. Inn you spent nights there before. You walk into the tavern room. There's a fair amount of people in there this evening, maybe 10, 15 people in there, drinking, having dinner. What would you like to do? You walk in.
I'm going to go to an empty table and throw my hand up in the air to get the attention of the barmaid.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Ellie
wave
looks
it in the air like I just don't care.
because you're ready to rock with the new kids on the block. Somebody say, "Oh yeah."
I can still mute you.
Not a New Kids fan. You're odd man out.
Apparently not. That's where all the ladies were, though, at the New Kids on the Block concert. Just saying. Anyways, you head to the table. You raise your hand in the air. Ellie follows you. Kind of looks back at Krixis. Said, "Are you coming?"
Right behind you.
All right. She gets to the table, and before she actually sits down, she said, "I'm gonna go get us rooms right away." So she kind of turns before she sits down. She goes and goes off to the bar. The barmaid does come by, seeing you raise your hand. She kind of looks at you. She's a little frazzled. Her hair's kind of falling out of her ponytail and down the sides. She kind of blows her hair back. What can I get you?
3 meads for me and my crew.
Meads. Excellent. Excellent. All right.
And a bowl of stew, milady.
Ooh,
Stew.
make that 2.
Stew. A third one as well, I assume, maybe? You think she's hungry?
Of course.
Yeah, she
Ellie
probably
will.
is.
Okay, three meads, 3 stews. Absolutely. I'll be right back. Then she kind of takes off. And Ellie comes back to the table. She's like, "I got us 2 rooms. And they're paid for already, so we have them for the night. So drink up here." And she kind of hands you guys a room key. 1 room key for the 2 of you.
I'll take it.
It's where the dicks hang out.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into whether or not the anatomy of tieflings. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah,
All
that's
I
a
know is
great
they're
question.
horny.
Sounds like a fanfic if somebody wants to draw that out there.
Fanfic, yes. So hey, Lazy Dragon, in my defense, I was 13 at the time. So any underage women, I was underage as well.
Yeah, you need to be more specific because they are still like
Yeah,
doing
but all the
shit,
women
right?
at those concerts now are 40 years old, dude. That's right in my wheelhouse. They're
It
there
still
with their
doesn't sound
daughter.
good. It still doesn't sound good.
I suppose it doesn't. Those guys are old too.
Spoiler alert: we're all old.
Truth. This is truth. Old is a state of mind, though. So Ellie, as you're sitting there, kind of talking about it, the lady brings the stew. The barmaid brings the stew and the mead, and Ellie kind of looks and, "Thank you, guys." And the barmaid says that'll be 2 silver for all of it.
Krixis still put 2 silver out.
Okay. Thank you very much. And she kind of takes the 2 silver and pockets it and heads back about the business. You see her moving about the room.
I'm gonna hold up my glass to them and cheer. Cheers! Like, hey, we did it.
The dead dragons,
Pour one out for
Ellie says.
I'm gonna say pour one out for my dead homie. Trying to harvest that dragon there. I'm just gonna pretend to tip and be like, nope, I'm not spilling anything for him, and I'm gonna drink.
Ellie stops when you mention that, and she just under her breath says, "I hope Runa's okay," and then takes a drink.
Yeah, hopefully. She's the
And
only one
then-
that seemed relatively kind out of that group.
She mentions that she takes her drink, and as you're talking, she grabs her bowl of stew and just starts shoveling. She's like famished. She just, and in fact, you guys actually, she's just like it's like you guys both notice that she is eating voraciously.
I'm gonna pick up my spoon and say, "Do you need a spoon for the other hand too? You'll be able to eat it faster."
Dual wielding spoons.
She looks at it for a second and says, "No, I'm sorry." And she's kind of blushing. She's embarrassed. I'm just hungry. I haven't had good food. We've been eating road food for so long. It's just we did it, guys. We did it.
So Krixis is drinking his mead and he says, "Let's celebrate with a song." And then Krixis
I was gonna
grabs
say, you
his
look
lute.
around the room, you see there is actually a small stage in the corner that no one's on.
All right,
There's-
so I'll head to the stage then. And
yeah.
Krixis will start to play and kind of create the image of a dragon with the lute, and and he'll start to sing.
You have a song?
Waddled in furs and snowshoes to boot. We ascended the mountain to find us some loot. Krixis fell on his ass, but no donkeys around. He'll be glad when ice doesn't cover the ground. We walked into a keep and we tussled with thieves. With eyes on a dragon, they left their blades sheathed. Now the wind and the snow are taking their toll. Upon the ice spire, a dragon, Ellie's ready to roll. Aronan the stealthy pierced the dragon's heart. Now the kingdom is saved, and let celebrations start.
The whole crowd just erupts. Everyone was enthralled by the tale. At one point, Aronon's kind of rocking back and forth, and Ellie actually kind of looks at him and puts her arm around him and starts rocking with him. And meat in one hand, drinking. The whole place is absolutely enthralled with this story. Roll a d20.
When as he finishes and everybody starts cheering, I take my tankard and I start banging it on the table.
The whole crowd starts just following along and doing that.
I have 14 on the d20.
Through the course of the night, you're going to end up getting 14 golden tips. The crowd has bought you several drinks through the course of the night. Like, you never are wanting for a drink. Every time your drink is empty, another one is there. You actually spend very little money beyond what you spent already. You end up, the whole bar, it becomes a party. And you sing more songs, you tell more tales. And it's actually just generally a great, fun, relaxing night for the three of you.
I'd like to also just continue to utilize the lute through the night, like create confetti sprays of the images with the lute and things like that. I definitely want to become proficient with the lute.
Yeah. At one point, you find, actually make me a make a dexterity check for me. As I described, at one point in the night, you do find there's a group of small children playing, and they've all kind of paid attention to your stories. And at one point, you actually sit down on the edge of the stage, and they all kind of gather around, sitting on the floor, and you actually perform a song specifically for them about it. It's story they're all familiar with, like a fairy tale style story, and they all know it, and they all are enthralled as you create this illusion in front of them. They've never seen someone tell a story like that with music and the illusion itself. What'd you roll?
It is
for
a
your dex?
13 on my dex check.
13. All right. Give yourself a somewhere. Just mark that. That's 1. When you get to 3, you're going to be proficient in the loot. You're going to make dexterity checks, kind of similar to how I handled Tana becoming proficient in bow. So as you work with you'll eventually be proficient in. You're getting good with it. You're getting very good with it. So you have a wonderful, relaxing, fun night as the three of you for the first time since you've all been together. Your existence together has been rather stressful. And this is the first time you've all really kind of let loose. Yes, Lazy Dragon. That was when she shot you. um, at some point in the night, what in amongst all the drinking and everything, Eliana comes over to Aronan and finds you kind of separate at one point. And she says, I'm sorry if I was overly forward with you.
At this point, I've had several, so I'm gonna say, meh, no worries. It's, I can't fault you for saying your piece, and
How drunk are you? I don't think I've ever heard you say meh so flippantly.
I'm gonna hold up my tankard and kind of swish it around.
Okay. All right, then just... I don't even know if you'll remember this.
Oh, I will. I don't forget anything.
Oh,
However,
we'll see.
I do appreciate your honesty. And I hope you are honesty with me more often.
She puts her hand on your shoulder. She said, Aronan, I'll always be honest with you. The fact of the matter is I care about you. And I know that may only ever be what it is now. But
Good. I'm glad you appreciate that, and I'm gonna give her a great big hug.
She actually, hang on a second, I'm gonna make a dexterity saving throw. Oh! You... That one. You go in for a hug, and you catch her mug of ale, and you guys are chest to chest, ale up in the air, all down the two of you as you're hugging her, and you don't even notice. You're just giving her this big hug. And she kind of backs back. She pats you on the back and kind of endures the drunken hug. And she said, you're a good friend. Thank you. And kind of, as you back away, she goes, I need another drink now, though. And maybe some dry cups.
Who did that to you?
You?
Oh, I'm gonna
Don't
throw
worry.
my hand in the air and say 2 more.
And 2 more show up like instantly. It's some other person, like they were waiting for you guys to need more drinks. Drink some water before you sleep, she says. And she heads back into the throng, and she's milling about talking with people. And you're left there.
Krixis just makes an offhanded comment about wetting the bed.
And Ellie says, well, our drunk friend over there, and you look over at Aronan, who's standing kind of off to the side, is drenched in as much ale as she is. Yeah, he's gonna have a rough morning. Aronan, you're sitting there in the corner, and you look at Ellie, and you look at Krixis, and you look at the room. You've never had something like this in your life. You had your friend, but your friend was more of a business partner in what you did to make money, to survive, to get by. You actually feel strange. Like, is this what a family is? As you sit there in your drunken stupor. Because you normally suppress something like this.
I normally wouldn't even think about it.
Emotions are something you deal with.
Yep, up until Ellie,
You're
I've been
intoxicated, and Ellie just came up to you, and you're looking around and you're seeing this. Somewhere inside, your emotions are coming out, and you go, oh, this is different. This is new.
Yeah, up until Ellie, I had never traveled with anybody. I never had any partners. I always I dealt with the guild. That's it.
And you had your friend in the guild, but
yeah,
like a business partner.
Yep.
Doing what you need to do to survive. So this is something new for you, and it's a feeling that is, you feel it for a second, and you shake your head, and you grab another drink.
Yeah.
So the night goes on, celebratory and fantastic, and you eventually wake. Actually, make a Constitution saving throw, both of you, and Ellie's got to make one too. Let's see where everyone ends up at the end of the night.
$18.
18. 3. Krixis. We'll start with you. You wake up on the stage. On your back on the stage, your lute in hand, your mug in the other hand. You kind of look up, and the bar keeps leaning on the bar, just kind of watching you. Morning.
With a hoarse voice, Krixis says, "How did I do last night?"
Very well. There hasn't been an atmosphere like that in this inn. I don't even remember when it would have been last. Thank you. Thank you for the story.
Our legend grows, Krixis says, and he tries to drink whatever's left in his mug.
There is a little bit left in it. Need you to make another Constitution saving throw. Go one of two ways.
Puke it
Oh my
up.
god.
Puke it up.
What was
It's
it?
a 2 because I rolled a 1.
So you take a slug of this warm, awful, stale, old, and you heave, and you grab the first bucket you see to heave into, and you yak into this bucket, and you look in it, and you realize it's where all your tips were. And you sigh and kind of set the mug veil down. Aronan, you wake up in your bed in the room upstairs, and you realize Krixis isn't in the other bed. You actually feel remarkably good for as much as you had to drink the night before.
Yeah, I do.
There's no one else around. What do you do?
I'm gonna get up and stretch. I'm going to make sure I have all my stuff, that I didn't, leave it anywhere. And then I am going to knock on Ellie's door to see if she's there.
You open your door to go out into the hall, and Ellie is passed out against her door. Mug in one hand, key in the other hand. She rolled a 4. She got up to her room, but she couldn't get in the door with the key. So she sat down outside her room and passed out.
Nice. All right, I'm going to kind of shake her a little bit to see if she wakes up.
Oh. Morning. She kind of wipes her mouth. There's like drool on, and is kind of mingling with the ale stain on her shirt.
Yeah, it's morning. How are you feeling, sunshine?
It's bright in here. It's not really bright in there at all. It's actually there's a little bit of light coming in from a window at the end of the hall.
I'm just gonna look around and be like, "Yep, sure is. You need help getting into your room?"
And you see her trying to piece together. She looks at the mug and she looks at the key. And... Yeah, I think I want to change my clothes before I spilled on myself last night.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna look left and right and be like, "Yep, you spilled it."
I think I'm good. Here, take that back downstairs. She hands you the mug. And she kind of stands up and stumbles a little bit as she stands up. Oh. I need water and food.
Well, why don't you change and I'll meet you downstairs?
That's a good idea. And she kind of puts the key in the door and goes in and closes the door behind her. You are left standing with a mug of warm ale in your hand.
All right. I am going to... Actually, should we close her down?
Oh, just head downstairs.
Head downstairs? All right.
Yeah.
I am going to head downstairs and...
I see where this is going.
You head downstairs, and you're walking downstairs, and as you just kind of survey the room, you notice just in time, Krixis grabs a bucket. And... We can end there.
All right.
Aronan! I threw up in the money bucket.
You're still drunk. Probably with it too. You can rally.
I'm going to put the tankard. We'll finish this off here. I'm going to put the tankard on the counter next to the barkeep and say, I think we're going to need one more night. I'm going to pay one more night's worth for both of us.
Oh, no. No, I made plenty of money last night. You keep your money.
All right.
Your friend made sure of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. That was good. That was a fitting ending.
Yay. So that was that ties off the. I mean, there's a couple of loose ends to do, like going and collecting the reward for the dragon, but that will tie off. That's honestly the last little bit. That ties off the Dragon of Icespire Peak, and you have had an introduction and a tie to bring you to Icewind Dale. So
Nice.
we start a journey there.
So next session, I think for everybody, podcast and everything.
Do you want to do a recap session next session?
Yes, I think that's a great jumping on point. I
Okay.
think we'll do a recap session. We can discuss everything. And then we can, the following session after that, we can start out at the inn, and then we can go with trading stuff and getting stuff and buying stuff and stuff.
Yep. So we will, next week's session, we'll have an hour and a half long discussion about the adventure so far, where we started, where we came from, adding Krixis, and possibly
Shh! Don't
talk
spoil
about
it.
talk about a secret. Something coming in the future. Dun,
Good
dun,
secret? I got a secret.
Secret. I got a secret.
Dun, 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 dun.
That is not a clue. We are not doing a. We are still doing the Icewind Dale thing. We are not going to Aronan.
Yeah, and there's actually a couple things we need to discuss amongst the three of us. So,
Where there would be a Mr. Roboto. Believe me, I really want to run an Eberron campaign. I got the Eberron book. And the more I'm reading it, I'm going, oh, this sounds fun. So,
Interesting.
hey, thanks, Lazy Dragon. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Good times.
Yeah, that was actually very fun and went in some unexpected ways. A lot of lighthearted adventure.
if you
Vote
haven't
on-
already, click on the link I just put in chat and vote for everybody who's still around. And John just left. Fine.
Hot damn. I clicked on my link instead of clicking on your link, so it didn't open a new window. Rude. Oh, let's see. 19 Whiteclaws. Just 19 Whiteclaws would be a great title. Sounds like a college mixer. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Looks like I
that's-
forgot to clear it out last week.
Yep.
So you want just 19 Whiteclaws, or 19 Whiteclaws sounds like a college mixer?
19 Whiteclaws sounds funny because people are going to the pop culture reference of White Claw, people are gonna go, what? What are they talking about? 19 White Claws. And honestly, maybe that's what you guys drank all night long too. 19 White Claws, at least Ellie.
Like sounds like a college mixer.
Yeah,
Like
throw
it.
it on there. Sounds like a college mixer. Yeah. That's what you said, so that's appropriate.
I mean, to be honest, it ended up like a college mixer.
It's
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, it did.
Or you can just do 19 White Claws and a college mixer. No, do what you have. Type there. That's good.
All right.
Dual wielding spoons is a good one too. Honestly.
All right, good deal.
I hope you are honesty with me more often. That will be something I'll remember for a long time. I hope you are honesty with me more often. Drunk Aronon's fun. That will need to happen again.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Yeah, probably. You do need to stop in Neverwinter and Luskin and Fireshear. And
Uh-huh.
there is some travel to be had. Now the question is, what do I do in Neverwinter and Luskin and Fireshear? Ooh, I got time to figure that out.
Sexy.
All right. Bring us on home.
Alrighty. We are on Twitch, twitch.tv/TomMNorm. This is where we do all of our live shows Sunday mornings, 8:30 a.m. Central Time, United States, for all those out of the country. We are on Twitter. JC is Wildfire1265. Cooch is Crazy Cooch. I am Tom M. Norman, Norman at the end. We also have 2 Nerds 1 Quest on Twitter. The number 2 Nerds, the number 1 Quest. Follow us everywhere. We also have a Patreon set up if you want to throw us a couple shekels, a couple shillings, a couple gold or copper. I don't know what other currencies are available. I don't think any of those are available in Patreon.
I am glad you did not say Electrum. Electrum does not exist in my worlds.
I don't know what Electrum is. I know what Electra is.
It's a half a gold or 5 silver. That's what it's equivalent to. It's a different metal. And
It's the worst.
It throws a fucking kink in the system. Everything is 10 copper equals a silver, 10 silver equal a gold, 10 gold equal a platinum. But in the middle of that, 5 silver equal an Electrum, and 2 Electrum equal a gold. What the fuck? Don't put something like that.
Sometimes market keepers don't want Electrum. It's the worst.
Yeah, it's like $2 bills.
So no Bitcoin?
No Bitcoin.
Yeah, so patreon.com/2nerds1quest. And
Absolutely.
I think that is all we got for today. So for JC and for Cooch, I am Norm. We shall catch you next week. Peace.
I'm gonna go duel me some spoons.
Let the celebration start.
Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth.